Hello, Pat Winter here. I just finished my Tea and Roses journal, and she is kind of supersized. She's 72 pages, so 144 sides, and it's two of my favorite subjects, roses and tea. So let's get started. Okay, she's kind of stiff because like I said, I just finished her, so she needs to be moved around a few pages and it'll get worn in. So first, this is just a piece that I slipped in the front because I had already made it and didn't have a place for it. So it's just a journaling card, nice big piece, but I thought the image was pretty, so I'm gonna just keep it in the front. And I use several kits from various artists, and I will put them in under the video because I have no idea who all it was at this moment. So basically, I just left a lot of room for journaling. I sewed and backed all of the cards and tabs and tickets, and most of the pages have little tabs on them, and sometimes I dangle stuff and some are plain. Little tickets that you can write on the backs. And this is a ticket belly band that I just printed off some pretty rose papers that you could just jot notes. And some hand-dyed paper. And this, you can just jot a note on the back of that. And this is a G-Kerr trifold, which I put in all of my journals. It has little tickets, little tabs and journaling cards. I just thought she was fun. She's from an old image CD. And just some more little tickets and tabs to write on. Little rose. And this is a little booklet with some tea-dyed ruled paper. I just thought that would be fun. Anyway, I'm just going to set that aside and I'll put it in afterward. Save some time. And some vintage lace I sewed on the edges. I just added a few little bits and pieces that I thought were fun. And again, some more tea-dyed ruled paper for notes. And lots of journaling cards. This is some vintage tatting. And they've all been sewn around and layered with pieces of journaling paper. And this is just a napkin that I waxed and applied with some vintage lace. I thought this was pretty, so I just used it as a belly band. I have no idea where that came from. And I am not a crocheter or a knitter. However, I did recently see a video on this, so I started it, and I did another piece in here somewhere, but I like just two of the, I forgot what they call it, shells, I think. I liked it like that, so I just left it. I cut it off and left it, and I just thought that was kind of fun. More journaling space. Journaling card backed and sewn. Oh, this is a large journaling card with some vintage lace. I thought that was really pretty. It's got a couple little, you can write a little note on there. And this is just a piece of stamped paper that I used a paper punch on as a pocket. And this is just a piece of paper to journal on in a tuck spot. A little pocket down here with a couple journaling cards. Actually, these aren't journaling cards. These are what they used to put in cigarette cases or cigarette packs, and the women would collect them. But these two were roses, so I decided to include them. And some tea-dyed paper with the doily method. And that's the first signature. There's 5 signatures and 1 surprise signature on the back. And this is a little seed packet. And this is an empty little tea packet that you can put a little note in. Some old ledger paper. And some pretty tabs, teacups. And this I just discovered in my pantry. I had a roll left over. It is the shelving, the paper lace shelving that they used to use in the 40s and 50s. And my house is like 140 years old, Victorian farmhouse. So in my pantry, I lined the shelves with this, and I had some left over, so I colored it a little bit with some distress ink and used it in the journal. Journaling card. I just put 2 layers. This just has little cards on it, in it. So I thought that was fun, something different, kind of like the doilies. And then, oh, I already showed you that. This is a couple papers on the side and a little journaling tag pocket. Another napkin that was I used wax on. And these pockets have, that's a bookmark, and I believe this one just has an, oh yes, an envelope with writing paper. See, it's just a big sheet of hand-dyed or coffee-dyed paper, and which you can journal on, and the other side is the teacup story. I thought that would be fun to include in here with a pretty envelope with an Edith Holden pocket and some vintage lace, and another little envelope. I won't open it, but it's got little cards in it to journal. And some fun little vintage lace with a bee, because every time I have tea outside, somehow a bee always finds its way into my teacup. And some more journaling tags and some couple sheets of paper with the roses. And another little tab. And these are more of the little notebooks. I thought they were cute. You could always grab one, put it in your purse if you're going somewhere special to jot notes. And here's a little pen, paper clip pen that you can always keep in here in case you forget to have a pen with you when you're journaling. And some more blank pages. And some more tags. And then I put these little sayings in here. There's 3 of them that you could write a little note on the back. And that is, excuse me, the second signature. And the third signature starts off with a little bling on a teacup tab, and it's a little notebook. And it's a little notebook inside of a notebook. So I just printed these off and turned it into a little notebook. And in the back you've got little tags to jot little notes or sayings or whatever. And in the very back there is just a pretty little card. You can jot a note or something. Anyway, I'll put this back later. And some more paper to journal on. Paper. And under this belly band is a tea time trivia that I found on Pinterest. I thought that'd be fun. On the inside, you have the answers, but don't peek at them until you try first. And here is just a little envelope with a journaling backed card inside, something special. And I just put on a little cameo piece of jewelry. And these are a little packet of, well, I'll open them, put them back later because they're very pretty. Maybe I'll open them. Well, so I thought they were very pretty. I put little postage stamps on most of them, but they're great little journaling cards. And some little, this is a little tea bag charm. These are just some recipes. Rose petal tea, it's paper clip. Rose petal tea, shortbread, clotted cream, and cucumber sandwiches. Those are some of my favorite things to make when I'm having a little tea. Usually it's my mother in the garden or a couple of friends that come over. We will have a little tea in the garden. And those are my go-to recipes. And here's the fourth journal, some large journaling cards with some pretty ladies. More journaling space, a ledger page, an envelope that has some paper to write, a little tag, backed tag. And this is an applique that has an R for rose. And more, that's just a sheet of paper to journal on the back. And this is Rose. I thought she's very pretty, so I tucked her inside. More journaling space, a couple of large cards to journal on. Pretty paper. This is just a flip out. Another little tab. And this is the fifth and final signature. And I thought this was pretty. I found it in one of my packets that I had purchased. I can't think of the group, but I'll put it under because it's she has she goes to estate sales and such, and she gets vintage books, and she has little auctions. And this one's Why Do Summer Roses Fade? So I had to include that one. And here's some vintage crochet that I just used as a tab. And this is an idea I borrowed from a friend who she sends me things all the time, like for journaling and stuff, so I had to share this. It's a tea bag that I took apart. I just cut the bottom and took it apart and filled it with lavender buds. So it just smells really nice, and I thought that was cute to tuck away in here. And these were freebies from Glenda's World or something like that. And this is today appointments and to-do lists, and there's 2 pages of each. And again, I used the shelving paper, pantry paper. And this one is just a to-do list, and this one is a weekly action plan. So I thought that would be, I kind of staggered them and thought that could be interesting to put in a journal. And another journaling card and an envelope that has just a journaling page in it. Oh, and this is just a little, you know, I like to make little booklets, but I used a vintage rose leaf and Velcro. And I put in a couple little, there's a little feather and just a little card with a vintage woman. It says listen to your heart, and a little ticket belly band, and I printed off some pretty little papers. And that's just a little notebook. You can slip that in your purse. More journaling space. And this is just, oh, this is the other, I don't know if you can call it crochet, whatever it is that I did. I just thought that was cute, so instead of tossing it, I included it in here. In one of those foam tabs that stand away from the page. And this is the same. Just something different. Here's a little envelope that has a journaling card inside. And then we come to the back, which is, it flips out, and there's the 6th signature. So we'll go through that. Here's another vintage velvet rose leaf and a little charm that says Thrive, and it hangs off of a tab. And that's just a big journaling card, backed and sewn. And here's a little lemon wedge for your tea. It's just a paper clip, little stamp, and a little bit of bling. Belly band with some Victorian scrap, and another little booklet. And this booklet has a little, you can't get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me, C.S. Lewis. And that just tucks in there, and it's just a little booklet. But in the back, you've got a little journaling card and a little butterfly journaling card, because I like little surprises. So there you go. And a couple of journaling cards here, backed with writing paper. And this has a journaling card. Oh no, this is an actual journaling card. Be a little piece of scrap vintage doily and a tab. And this is just a piece of, or a couple of tags for journaling inside of this pretty little envelope. I've used this set before, but I can't remember who it is, but I'll have it under the video. And another card, and another card. And an envelope with the journaling card inside. And a couple more journaling spaces. Oops, my roses. There we go. That's just a journaling card in there. And then a small little message to yourself in here. Love what you do. And then we come to the very back, which I took a little piece of Velcro and a vintage doily that I had dyed, and I put a little rosebud and a little piece of Velcro on this side to keep it secure, and some seam binding, and that holds this little booklet here to the back. Oops, there we go. And it's just a flip out, and in the little pockets it has little journaling cards. And in here you've got, okay, I'm going to have to fix that one. Anyway, you've got lots of little journaling tabs and an envelope with some papers in here. And that is the Tea and Roses journal, and she is pretty big, but she can't help it. She's a labor of love, and she will be for sale. So there you have it, and I hope everyone's staying well, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.